everyone, my name is Kato van Hoefs and today I will be talking about the cultural differences between Belgium and Finland. Cultural differences are very important. You need to be aware of them, especially when you're working or living abroad. I did an interview with an expat who lives in Finland. This is Wim de Koen. Wim is a manager at the ECHA, stands for European Chemicals Agency, and he manages a team of lawyers and scientists, and they try to take care of the chemical industry. Before Wim headed to Finland, he was a professor at the University of Ghent, where he did a lot of research. Now, in Finland, at the ECHA, he applies these research results. As you may all know, there are 6 cultural dimensions of Geert Hofstede. Today, I will only talk about 3 of them. The first one is power distance, then I will talk about individualism, and last but not least, I will talk about masculinity. The first dimension is power distance. You can see this number is very high in Belgium and is only the half of the amount in Finland. This is because there are very equal rights for Finns, and their superiors are a lot more accessible than in Belgian companies. In Belgian companies, the word hierarchy is very common used, so in bigger companies, superiors are not approachable and they don't even know the name of their subordinates. Because of the fact that the ECHA is a European agency where people from all over Europe work, it was irrelevant to take a closer look. Wim has a quite high position, therefore he only needs to report to 3 people, and he has a really good relationship with them. Also, because of his quite high position, he has a lot of people. There are a lot of people who need to report to him, and he knows the majority of these people by name, and they go out for dinner on a regular basis. And I call this socializing between levels. This graph indicates individualism is highly rated in both countries. But what does this mean? This means that in both countries, citizens prefer minimal contact with strangers. For example, when you're walking in the streets of Ghent, there's literally no one who would speak to you in a spontaneous way or ask you how you're feeling. In Finland, this is the same. You would think that because of the cold weather, people would love to make new friends and invite them because it's cold, but it's the other way around. They stick to their own bubble and don't talk to foreigners. Finns are therefore the most rational and most distant people all over Europe. Wim doesn't have the feeling that he is welcome into their community, but not only Wim tells this. Also, a lot of articles are telling this exact same story, and one of them says, Finland is one of the least desirable countries on a global scale for making friends with the local population. The article also says that Helsinki, the capital of Finland, where Wim is working, is one of the most expensive cities all over Europe, and there aren't a lot of possibilities for leisure. Even though Wim told me that he can maintain the same lifestyle, and he even found a new hobby, which is fitness. As you can see on this slide, the last dimension I'll talk about is masculinity. The level of masculinity in Belgium is not very high, but in Finland it's even lower. Belgian people are driven by competition because we've learned this ever since, so everyone wants to be the best. While in Finland it's the other way around, because Finland is a very feminine country. where people are focused people are focused on working to live. And in a lot of Finnish companies, there is a high level of solidarity between superiors and their employees, and they negotiate more and they're more flexible than in Belgian companies. For example, a man who just became a father can take paternity leave after the birth of their child. But also in Belgium, this advantage is getting implemented. So the focus on feeling good at work is growing more and more. Overall, there are some vast differences between the two cultures. For example, on power distance, the way of dealing with people in the north is cold in the broad sense of the word. But when it comes to life-work balance, both countries tend to show similar results. When it comes to masculinity, it is clear that Belgian people take the lead of the Finnish population. After I did some research by digging into the Finnish culture, the conclusion is that not all of the results of the 3 dimensions that were discussed correspond to someone who works and lives there. Neither culture is perfect, but it would be better, or it would be the best case scenario to make a combination of both cultures. Thank you for listening.